and she posts a lot of LinkedIn content. She's a great person to be around, and we're just gonna kind of start the session, and she's gonna tell a little bit more about us, and hopefully we can learn a ton about LinkedIn here. So let's get started.
Hello, Victor. I'm
Yeah.
happy for LinkedIn actually to bring us together because
Yeah.
I really appreciate this
Mhm.
opportunity from the channel to meet more people. My name is Ieva Drazniece. I am from Latvia, which is in Europe, Northern Europe, and I do post a lot on LinkedIn. But in general, I am a content strategist, and I really like creating content strategies and helping businesses and professionals to represent their business online. So I am here with you today, speak on LinkedIn, and I can shortly introduce my experience with content strategy. It came from the long time ago, 2001, I guess, when as a part of the snowboard association, me and my teammates, we boosted the snowboard as a lifestyle. So it took a lot of challenge for us to promote something which is new to the market. So now this experience helps me to help the brands and professionals make the word sound out there in the global area, like that. So
Yeah, that's great. And another thing that I see a lot of people, like you post a lot, and what I often see from people from social media companies, these content creation companies, what's funny is they don't post any content. And if you look at if you do look at their content, it's all self-promotional content saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. And it's like just another way, like they just take pictures at different angles and things like that, and they're not focused on adding any value. They don't post any content. If it is, it's self-promotional, and they're just not adding any value. And I really find that really interesting that they say that they create content for companies, yet they don't do it themselves. And if they do themselves, they don't do it very well. And there's very, very few people out there that are actually able to post valuable content. And that valuable content is the best way to reach new people and develop those relationships with others. And it's really interesting how like they say they can do it for other companies, yet they can't do it very well for themselves. It's very interesting. A whole interesting conversation there. What do you think about that?
this is a good point how you turn it, because in the general, I think that maybe not everyone has to do content, but if they do, then this is a big responsibility to feel your audience, and it's good that we can trust these people. They do it professionally on behalf of our brands, like they speak on with a brand tone of voice and on their permission. But I don't know, if they don't post, then it's even much better. If they post, then it's a guessing why they do this hard sale and don't put the value for the customer. Because for example, when I do webinars for the NGOs and organizations, there are many entrepreneurs and professionals who pose the same question: what to post, what kind of content is going to be engaging for the customers. And this is the example where you can see that people really don't understand what to post, or they don't post, or they post the wrong content. So
Yeah.
understanding your customer pains, like the needs, this is the one main issue to start with. And why these professionals are not doing this, actually it's hard to imagine, but I guess the professional from professional, there could be like big gap. So maybe these are not the good ones. It's just
How,
guessing. I don't have an answer to such question. It's really,
how many posts do you typically recommend across all social media channels per day? So like let's say it could be like one on LinkedIn, one on Facebook, and then like that would be two total. So how many would you recommend total? How many pieces of content to post?
Uh, this is another favorite topic of mine. It's like I always, when I think of content strategy, I always think of the resources of the company, because it can be like big company with a set of agencies around them, and it can be like one professional like who needs to speak on his service. and he just have like this resource of his time. So all the strategy is based always on your resources. If you have more resources, you just add more channels, like more information out there. But if you have a limited resource, then you just reach your main customer with a main pain like more main value for his pain. Like it's simple as that. And you can grow this reach through your resources. So like that, I think so. Then you can like reach your customer 2, customer 3, like because you have like several customer personas, but always start with the main one.
Mhm.
So and mhm.
Yeah, that's great. And also, what how do you typically change your do you post all the like let's say if it's a post, it's a business post. Would you typically post that to all your channels, or would you typically split it up and like let's say post one post to Instagram, another type of post on Instagram, and then another type of post on Facebook? How do you usually split up your content into different categories, if you will?
Well, first of all, any channel is demanding the different tone of voice, even the different visual, like
Yeah,
even the format. If the picture is the same, then maybe in one it's square, in one it's like vertical,
yeah,
like as simple as that. And the same to the message. So you cannot use the same message. You have to rephrase it, or even pack it other way around. So that's the thing. But for my content, which I do like content strategies to promote my service, I do it like manually. I decide, is this information relevant for the Instagram, for the Facebook, for example, for the stories, or for my private profiles to share with my friends so they can know what's new in my business. But it's always to decide. Yeah, there's no one formula for distribution, I think.
yeah, yeah. That's great. And how do you typically come up or tell people? How do you motivate them to come up with new content strategies? Like, or how do you typically tell them to like motivate them to post and to come up with ideas for them of because a lot of people say
Yeah.
like what do I post and or like I don't know what to post. That's the main question of what people say. What have you noticed to really get people to post and find what to post?
It's again, we return to the question when those professionals and organizations they ask what to post, what kind of content is going to engage, and it's really hard for entrepreneurs and the owners and marketing directors, sometimes even the marketing directors, to step in the shoes of the customer, to look from the customer perspective what they would like to know, not what company would like to post. Like, we have like this office celebration, we have this promotion, we have this like company news, company news, but what's in there for the customer? So I think this is the main point where you have to start to look on your whole customer base, like you have many customer personas, and
Mhm.
check what they have, what are the issues, and then you just use those issues and those customer personas as several concepts, and
Yeah.
yet then you just post you use those concepts as posting like themes, and you make sure you include all the concepts in your weekly or monthly schedule, like that.
Yeah.
Just address all of the pains, all of the customers, and that's it.
Yeah, that's great. And another thing for me, like you have to make sure like and ask yourself the question like it's either are you scared to post or are you or do you not actually have the content? And for me, I just when I was starting out on LinkedIn, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of scared to post. And the way I got around that was like I basically said like I'm gonna start posting now, and that was my first post. I'm gonna start posting now. Send. And then I
I
was
want
like,
to see
okay,
your first post. I want to see your first post.
I have to go find it. It was something like that. And that's really how I got around that fear. I'm like, okay, that wasn't too bad. And then it kind of got me into the development of creating more content. And really, I got over that hurdle because that was a big one for me before. And like then I started thinking of more content I could potentially post out. And a lot of people don't know what to post. And the way I literally have a huge note sheet, like I literally have Google
Oh,
Notes, and I will wake up in the middle of the night from a dream. I'm like, man, this would make an amazing LinkedIn post. And I just literally go in and type it in my notes. I have like, it's like 10,000 words by now, like my LinkedIn or all the notes I have about posting content. So it's little things, like little nuggets I notice and insights I have while I'm either working or while I'm doing some random other activity, or questions that people ask me. If someone asks me a question like, what do I post on LinkedIn, I'm going to say, oh, people are having issues with posting on LinkedIn. I'm going to create more content around that. I'm going to really change my entire strategy and really start pushing out more content like that. And it, like, literally just these little insights, I completely shift my strategy. Like, I might, like, one person might ask me a question that will completely just, I will just go a whole other route with all my content. And just little insights like that. And that's why I don't use content calendars or anything else as much, is because I don't want to limit my strategy.
like,
I want to make it very dynamic. I want to be like this and not like this. And I want to always be shifting and changing that strategy so that I'm always adapting to that end customer. It's all about listening to your audience, is what it comes down to. It's all about listening to their feedback, listening to their questions, and thinking like, oh, other people probably have those questions. I'm going to answer that in other forms of content. So it all comes down to listening to your customer, and you're 100% right on that.
but
And
this is interesting that you
mhm,
shift your strategy. Actually, you know, like I noticed from your content, you speak on Amazon, you speak on YouTube, like on the
yeah,
subject of LinkedIn. So this is already the concepts you have. You
yeah,
have these concepts. You are not shifting them. You just shift the small themes.
yeah,
This is good. You still keep those concepts within your strategy. This is strategy. You're not like one day you just forget to speak about YouTube, for
yeah,
months. No, it's not going to happen. I know
yeah,
for sure. So this is already like strategy, but it's okay that you shift the small ideas in between, like
hmm,
and inside those concepts.
hmm,
They're still there. That's okay. You have strategy. You don't shift strategy. You just shift. You just shift the themes. That is what you're
yeah.
doing.
And it's all about testing. Like, it, a lot of people are like, you can't think every piece of content's going to be perfect. Like, you can't, like, literally, like, I sometimes I just see misspellings in the content. I post it anyway. Like, literally, because I need to, first of all, I need to post bad content on purpose so that way I can get over that hurdle of always trying to make every single content
Yeah.
absolutely perfect. And because I really need to get over that, and so that way I can constantly put out more. And because if I was so focused on making every single piece of content absolutely perfect, I would
Yeah.
never get anything done. You would never see a single post from me, maybe once a month, and no one would ever see it. And it's all about producing this content and being okay with it, okay with yourself if it either does not perform good or if you mess up. You have to, it's a whole other conversation. If you have to be okay with making mistakes.
Yeah, but
And
you have to try, like you say.
yeah, like you have to try. And I make mistakes on purpose so that way I don't feel that regret of making mistakes. And that's how I get over it. But you have to be okay with not posting perfect content, and you have to be okay with making mistakes on that content. Because if you produce content at scale as much as I try to do, you're going to make mistakes. There's no possible way you cannot. And it's just okay. Like at the very end, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what other people think. So you can't judge that based off of what others think. And after that, it's so clear. Like you can just produce content as much as you want and listen to your customer, and listen to their criticism, but take it
And to
with a grain of
yourself.
salt.
Yeah. Listen to
And
yourself.
don't put all your self-esteem in your posts. That's kind of what I'm saying. Don't say if this post does bad, I'm bad. That's not what it means. It means that maybe you need to shift your strategy. Maybe you need to test. Maybe it was just a bad time of day. There's so many different things, but it all comes down to posting as much as you can and then seeing what works. So it's
Yeah, yeah. You cannot decide anything if you don't have like sample. You have like
yeah,
to collect some pieces to decide
exactly.
if it's bad or new or perfect. Yeah, you have to
Exactly.
collect.
And it's subjective. Like you can't like exactly what you're saying. You have to post out a ton of content and then you got to see what works. Like that's why you can't focus on the perfect content. That's perfect to you, not perfect to the audience. You don't know what's going to work. So that's why you have to make a ton of pieces of content. That's why I'm testing YouTube content, like Google content, LinkedIn content on these platforms because I'm going to see what works the best and what people are going to engage with more. Because like on LinkedIn, Amazon content does amazing, but YouTube content doesn't. Just like certain insights like that really make a big difference. I'm going to keep testing it regardless. Like I'm going to keep posting YouTube content to LinkedIn because I'm going to always test that and test what is going to be working. But there's a lot of just posting of like what you do throughout your day, what you do throughout your work and things like that when it really comes to finding more content to post.
But this is where we come back to the question why people don't post,
Yeah.
and it's always like it's a big issue to find the answer to question why,
Hmm.
because you have to have an aim, a target, why you do it.
Yeah.
And then if you don't know, then this content is like really annoying. But then when you start knowing, okay, some part of people who know the target, they do hard sales, and then it's annoying as well.
Yeah.
But the majority who do content, they do interesting content. At least when we engage, we see this content more. If we don't like it, we just skip it, and we don't
Exactly.
get it anymore. But
Hmm.
it's on you have target, and you post and you test and you post and you test.
Hmm.
If there's no target, then people don't know reason why to start posting as well. So maybe this is also one answer, one part of the answer. The other part is, of course, afraid of being wrong,
Yeah.
afraid of expressing, what to tell, what do
Hmm.
I know. But maybe even if you know like 1% more than me, it's
Hmm.
already interesting for me because I don't have this 1%.
Yeah.
So this is also like a perspective, but
Hmm.
you always can learn from examples. So we are there to give them this hand, say it's easy, just start, test, fail, start,
Yeah.
this is like we do it for ourselves, and this is the way how we introduce the channel for the other people. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so you're sweating.
No, no, I was fixing a piece of hair, but yeah.
Hot subject, hot subject.
Yeah, and also like you touched on a great point of what motivates people. What is your motivation of posting? A lot of people say like I don't see the value in posting and things like that. But when it comes down to it, if like in the future, in the next 10 years, if you are not posting on social media, your business will not exist. Like, because this is where all the customers are. This is where all the people are, where everyone is interacting. This is where everyone is right now. And if you are not posting to these social media channels, building your brand and things like that, you will not exist in the next 10 years because of that. And you really have to develop your social media strategy and really post out this content because if you are doing business of any kind, it doesn't matter if you're a plumber or anything else, you need to be building a brand, and the best way to build that brand is through social media. So it,
But this is
I
you. This is you who believes that you should build a brand. But there are so many people who do their everyday job, and they don't think that they have to build a brand. I just go to the job. why I have to speak about my job, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, that's a great point. And it also brings a lot of opportunity. So it could be,
Yeah,
if
that's
for an
true.
entrepreneur, it would be to build that brand and build their business because that'll gain sales. But for an employee, then you can post about all these hurdles you're going through. And then once a lot of people interact with that and they resonate with it, like, oh, wow, he's actually talking about something really interesting, then it brings a lot of opportunities for you. So let's say if you are in a rut or other things like that, if a lot of people are interacting with your content, you have a lot more eyeballs and a lot more relationships and opportunities that might come your way. So if you're talking about why being a plumber sucks, and someone might mention, like a recruiter might come up to you, say, hey, what about being an engineer or something? It's related to plumbing, but whatever. And then that opens up an opportunity for you to get another job down the line right there. So there's a lot, almost every case, it when you post content, it either establishes more brand and brings more opportunity almost all of the time. And as
But
long as
you,
you're providing valuable content, it really will like it'll make it where you grow faster and where you really provide the most value and gain the most opportunity out of it.
yeah, I just want to comment on this. You know, I've noticed that even LinkedIn is everywhere and growing like in speed of light,
Yeah.
the popularity and the membership. But when I engage in my Facebook channel and tell something about LinkedIn, I have this feeling that, you know, there are so many people who still don't use this channel, not for professional, not for business, not as an employees, not for looking for a job. It's like still like, you know, we live in a LinkedIn, like in LinkedIn bubble, YouTube bubble, but those channels and those audiences, they don't like overlay completely. There are still more people out there to whom we can tell why this personal branding is good for you as an individual, for your career, for your, I don't know, as an employee, why it's good for your business, because so many people still use their own tools, you know. They still have an option to jump on some new channels like TikToks for business or something, but
Mhm.
there are many windows for opportunity to add more channels. Maybe people are just, you know, busy with work. I don't have time to post, I need to work, but they don't think that they not gonna have work tomorrow if they don't post today. So it's like short
Yep,
term thinking, but
true.
you cannot like pull them with the by hair to the some channel. It's like when they decide that yeah, it could be, and that's us making this content and spreading it, like, you know,
Mhm.
everywhere that
Yeah.
it needs to be done. So yeah,
Like that's a great point. Like if you aren't posting and because you say you don't have time, like this is like most of the people that say they don't have time, they're just not prioritizing it.
yeah,
Like they're just saying like, "Oh, I don't have time. I got to go do something else." And they're just not prioritizing because they don't value it as much. But that's a great point. Like when if you're not posting on social media and the reason why you are busy, you might not have that job or next opportunity. If you did post that content, you might have a better opportunity to
yeah.
where you could potentially work less, or like maybe you
That's
like
great. Yeah,
where you make more money and you don't have to work as hard for your this next job or things like that. And it could literally, like, your post can be, I don't have time to, like, you can literally talk about how you don't have time because you're so slammed, and another way to get around that. Like literally
this is
that.
long term strategy, you know, Victor.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to think about long term. Everybody needs to solve the problem now, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
this is
exactly.
real long term strategy. Yeah,
Yeah, and it comes down to like people really just having to like yeah, they have to think long term, like you said.
yeah,
And it matters about, it will open up new opportunities for you to really grow no matter what happens in your life. It makes it where you have the leverage now in your life, because say if you get fired right now from your job and you don't have very many connections or anything else like that, there's not much you can do. But if you have been posting content for a while and then you say, "Oh, I don't have a job anymore," then a lot of people are going to open up and say, hey, you can come work for me. Or a recruiter might talk to you, say, hey, you can come. I have people that you can work for here. And it all comes down to posting and gaining that relationship with others, because I feel like relationships are the strongest thing that are out there. Like that's
Yeah,
where
that's true.
like I don't really care about likes or connections or anything else like that. The
Like
main
like me and you,
Yeah,
we met on LinkedIn, and
yeah,
now we are
exactly.
here.
Yeah, like there's a difference between connecting on someone with LinkedIn
Yeah,
and gaining a relationship with someone on
yeah,
LinkedIn. Because I don't judge a piece of content based on how much engagement. I don't judge it by views. I don't judge it by likes. I don't judge it by anything else. I judge it based on how many relationships I earned and gained from that content.
yeah.
So if I post out an Amazon post, I might gain 2 relationships in that post of people asking me another question about Amazon and then establishing that relationship with them.
Mhm.
That makes me feel good. Then like, okay, that Amazon posted really well. I got 2 relationships out of it. I don't care. I got
Yeah,
like what 200 likes. I do not care. I got 2 relationships
yeah.
out of it. And that relationship can be a lifelong relationship where we can constantly develop together and really learn from each other.
This is
So
a question about the value of the content. It's
yeah,
the short term is like this engagement, which you see in the metrics, and the long term is those relationships, leads, and partnerships, whatever, new ideas and collaborations and whatever. Yeah. I'm
yeah.
sorry, I
Yeah,
interrupted you.
no, you're so right. And I feel like a lot of people are only valuing their content based on views and likes, and then they give up on their content. No, that's not the goal. Your goal is not to get views and comments and likes and things like that. That those are just arbitrary numbers that don't matter. It really comes down to building these relationships with other people, because those people are going to watch your content almost every single time based on your relationship with
But I
someone.
guess I guess people don't believe that this posting is gonna. How can I measure how much gonna earn from this post?
Yeah.
They wanna earn. They want a calculation immediately.
Yeah.
How many likes? How many sales? But
Yeah.
they don't think that it's building this loyalty and relationships and the sales they are
Mhm.
following. But you have to like invest something, and this investment is not very comfortable for people, for professionals, for entrepreneurs. They don't like investing when they don't know when the return's gonna come back.
That's the difference between sales and marketing. Those are 2 completely different things.
Mm.
Sales is how much can I make on this post right now? What is the
Yeah, right
ROI
now.
on this post
Yeah.
directly? Short-term gains.
Mm.
Marketing is the growth for the long term, brand building, and things like that, where it really helps develop your brand and business long term, where people can really see and connect with your business and they will be a lifelong customer. Sales will only help you get short term based customers right now. But
But we have seen examples, like for example, in the same LinkedIn, when something has been added to the post, and it's like sales offer, like people already get the value immediately.
yeah, yeah.
It's not always long term. You can play with it.
Yeah. And like when you're focused on only the money out of these posts, you're not going to get very far, because people do not like to be sold to. Like it is just not like, look at your own content, like, or like look at like what you like people like for the social media companies that only post promotional content about themselves. I guarantee those people do not look at people that look at their following. Like you should be producing content for something that you want to see. Like if someone isn't if you, some or if most LinkedIn people aren't talking about stress and you feel like it's important to you, then you need to be talking about that and not doing self-promotional content. It needs to be about value for the other person, not to you. And that's the difference between people that want to get the money out of every LinkedIn post. That's not how it works. Like it's all about building that relationship, like a real relationship, not for money, just a relationship in general. So that way, because you never know, in 10 years, that might be your biggest deal ever. You have no idea, but it all comes down to establishing that relationship and not tarnishing it based off of just some money and trying to get short-term gains. It's not worth it.
I have one example of posting and not knowing how it's gonna go, and I had like post on love theme actually, and I used hashtag which I hadn't used before, but
Mhm,
now it seems like this post has really low engagement, like completely no engagement with likes
mhm.
and comments. But the views are still growing just because of this one hashtag. It means that I didn't see the value in this hashtag, but it looks like people on that platform, like LinkedIn, are also concerned about this subject and they follow that hashtag. So it's like one thing we perceive, and the other thing is what the audience like. And so we have to test and see, and then wow, what a surprise, you know? Yeah, that
Yeah,
was a
and
surprise for me today.
yeah. And it's so important to focus on the end consumer, the end person that's going to be
Yeah.
watching the content, and really focus on that's why I don't plan too much of my content, is because I want my strategy to always be changing to whatever the end person is talking about. So all these different questions and comments I get, I'm going to change my content like that, just based on a quick question that I get. And I don't want to say like, "Oh, this week I'm only going to post this content and that's it." I might just scrap all the videos like I produced in like from a session and just like not post them because I want to go a whole other direction and I want to post a whole other thing and I'm gonna post them later at some point. But I shift strategies that quickly based off certain insights I get to really add as much value to the end person as I can. So it's really fascinating how all that changes and things like that.
But it's still, for me, it's like, questionable. I still don't agree that you change your strategies. I
Yeah.
still believe that you change, post type, like video or text. You change like the subjects, but you don't change the themes. The big ones, they stay. You will know that you will speak about the platforms, you're going to speak about the value. You have those like pillars. And you
Yeah.
don't change them. You just, you change the frequency, how often you speak on that subject, but you don't change your strategy. There is one, there it's there.
Yeah. I
Don't
just
say that you change strategy.
like I changed the way I approach it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you
I
still
might
have
talk
the
about certain
pillars. Yeah,
things. Yeah, like I might approach it at a different angle
yeah,
and like instead of producing video, I might do text and then I
yeah,
might do images and things like
yeah.
that.
But it's not
And
strategy, it's like detail, but the pillars are there, still there, the same. You
yeah,
keep them.
yeah, yeah.
This is this is strategy. This is strategy. The big things, the small things. This should change. Actually, that's right. You should
Mhm.
like be out there, check what's relevant for the audience, and bring it to your place, and do it your way, and wrap it your way to your like individual audience. But yeah, the pillars stay. These
Yeah,
are your values, like the
yeah,
values of your customer, and they expect you to speak on those like subjects.
yeah. That's
but
true.
uh, but but the way how you do it, like it may differ. Yeah.
Yeah, and it comes down to also just other insights that you get. Like, just in like, say if you learn how to overcome an obstacle or anything else,
Sorry. Perfect.
how you learn like, let's say if you learn how to overcome an obstacle, that's where you can post and learn, and post that type of content to add value to the end person that maybe hasn't overcame that obstacle yet. Maybe like saying when to quit a job, when to say it's like it's over and things like that. And I think that where that could add a lot of value by just showing what obstacles you had in your daily life. It doesn't have to be work related. It could be just through your daily life of things that you found valuable that could be a good nugget of information on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah, but it really grows like credibility, and and it makes your bond with the audience more stronger if you share your personal aspects.
Yeah.
Like the 2020 was like the bomb for everyone with this like losing jobs. I was one of them. I lost my job in March, so it was like the first thing I was thinking just to post the content, and then I started to post the content for the people who are losing jobs, and we, somehow reconnected from where I started, and gave some value to them so they can, launch to the new solution faster. So it's good to be personal, so you can really attach people more, and the common values, find the common pains, and this is already like topic for the discussions or relations or whatever, but it really bonds together, and this comes to the relationships, that all the social media actually is built on relationships, or the influencer marketing, or
Hmm.
the communities groups, like it's all about people, the
Yeah.
interest groups. Yeah.
Like you're so right. It's all about people, and you're only one post from reaching and developing a new relationship with someone that could be a lifelong partner for you, and like someone that could really change your life. Like it all comes down to the people that you know throughout your life. And LinkedIn makes it where that's scalable, where you can establish relationships with hundreds of people within weeks, within days, and things like that. And I really want to get this across about people should not like think a comment, responding to a comment is not establishing a relationship. It
Yeah.
comes down to really connecting with that person. So adding value, and then like after I add a piece of value by responding to a comment and things like that, then I might message them and ask them how their day is doing. Like, I'm not trying to sell them anything. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just
Yeah.
asking and really trying to establish a relationship with them. So whenever they do need something, I'm there, and they don't feel any stigma to respond to me. I
Yeah.
want people to be comfortable by like just texting me like and saying, "How are you doing?" Like I love talking to people, so I don't mind just people coming up to me and saying, "How are you doing?" I love that.
But
So,
Victor, this is again, you
mhm,
have still this resource,
yeah,
but the time is ticking. Your like popularity is growing, and one day you will open like your inbox, and there's going to be 100 messages. So what's then? It's
that's true.
everything has its own limits.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm still going to attempt to do my best to establish and maintain those relationships as best as I can. Like my goal of the day, I have multiple goals every single day,
Yeah.
and the one that always stays the same, my I have to establish a relationship with one new person, or I have
Mhm.
to make another relationship stronger. Like an older relationship stronger, and that is my only goal going throughout this. So right here, since we're on a call together, our relationship
Yeah.
is stronger now, and now we're more comfortable with each other. So
Yeah.
now it really opens the doorway. And like when I'm going through LinkedIn posts, I literally go through with a goal to only gain one relationship out of each post. That is my only goal. Like that's my only thing. I don't care how many comments, how many likes. That is my entire goal, is to really gain and
It's
get
like,
that one
if we would have like emoji now, it would like heart, heart, heart.
yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
who will listen to this video, they will like, "Whoo, Victor is good guy. Victor is good guy."
Exactly. But that's how you give the most value to the other person. And like and you'll realize that once you establish that relationship with someone, they will always be engaging with your content from then on. Like
Yeah.
just asking someone how was their day and providing as much value as humanly possible to them, then you'll notice like your content, they'll be liking and commenting on your content every single time, no matter what. And then that will increase your awareness as well. So establishing these relationships are is good for your content, is like it's good for everything. It's just good as a human being to establish a relationship with other people.
Yeah, but it's
So
very,
it's
very, very
great.
tricky how people do those comments.
Yeah.
You really have to be very responsible for what you post,
Yeah.
and we know that algorithm really likes those comments, and people know how to use comments to boost their visibility in the channel. And then you sometimes see that these comments are like artificially made. So this is another like trick. You cannot like step over this border where you really look silly doing like long professional comments. It's like you have to be true, like authentic. There
Yeah.
has to be some private, some personal message within this comment.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. Like it has to be, yeah, you can't automate the response to other people. And you can't get like expect to establish a relationship through an automated flow or anything else. It really has to be personable. Like when I ask how was your day? Like I'm typing like hey Mary, how was your day? How are you doing? And I'm literally typing that, and I'm not having an automated sequence that's doing it. I'm literally like seeing what they commented, and then I'm saying, "Oh, I hope this helped your Amazon business," and
Yeah.
or whatever it is, and that way it's personable, and that way it doesn't feel that like automated or anything else. I don't do that, so it's all about establishing a relationship, and you can't do that through automated sequences and things like that. It just doesn't work well. So it comes down.
Actually, everything is very transparent.
Yeah,
If you do it wrong, then it comes up very, very easily. Then it's
yeah,
very tricky to lose your face, your
yeah,
LinkedIn face. You must be aware of the
yeah,
borders. Mm.
yeah, for sure. And it's also important to, like, this is a little interesting one. It's important to care about your reputation, but not not think that this one post will, like, obviously don't post anything, like I don't post anything political. I don't post anything like that will kill me. But I'm just saying, like, it comes down to the perfection
Mm.
conversation where,
Mm.
like, don't think that this post is gonna put all your reputation on the line. It will help your reputation, or it may hurt it just a little bit, but it's important not to care too much of what others think as well. Like, it's important to go in this conversation and start posting, but not hold everything that you have in your post. Yes, it's important to believe in your post and put everything you can into it, but at the same time, not try to make it so perfect that you're not even going to be able to post content anymore. That you're going to be able, because I see so many entrepreneurs that try to make every single content perfect, and they're posting once a month, and then that one post sucks. It ends up sucking. So it ends up not even being worth it because they can't test. Like, they're so focused on being perfect that they can't test the content that actually works. Like, they're not testing Amazon, they're not testing like LinkedIn, they're not testing all this types of content. Instead, they're just trying to make it perfect, and it just ends up not performing as well. And like that's when I see what with people, like with lots of brand rules, brand fonts, and things like that. Like, you have to test your fonts, you have to test your colors, you have to test all these different things. And if you're limiting based on your brand color, your brand rules, then your content's just not going to perform as well. Like that's just how it is. And you have to always be testing and evolving what you're doing, and you can't do that with all these limitations and trying to be perfect every single time. Just not going to work that way.
But I think maybe, I don't know, one version that maybe there are people who are like speakers, and then people who are doers, like
Yeah.
who should do and who should speak. I don't know. Maybe this is also one reason why there is this still this percent is small of people doing content, and the very majority of people not doing content. I don't know why, but many people do content on Instagram, like even those who are the shy ones, they still share like, my birthday, whatever. And it's
Yeah.
the same. Nobody should like be afraid, even if it's like business platform. But there's always people behind every business. So we are there just people, the same people. Or we have like private profiles, or we have company profiles. There are always people there. So it's just, to understand that you just shift a little bit the tone of voice, the content, or even, I'm now getting not surprised anymore about the variety of the content. It's like the mixture of different channels already within LinkedIn. So it's a good surprise to see what's coming next. So it's, like you say, just go out there, test, Don't be afraid. And what's good, if you don't receive those thumbs and comments, it doesn't mean that people don't see it. They just they don't act because they are shy, maybe, or just watching you. But you just continue, even if there's no thumbs. Just
Yeah, that's a
continue.
great point, and you have to remember 89% of people on LinkedIn do not engage with any content.
That's
Like,
great
they literally
number.
just view it, and that is it. So, they could love your content. Like, 89% of them could love it, absolutely love and see it as valuable, but not a single one of them will engage with it in any way. They will not like it, they will not comment, they will not do anything. And you have to keep that in mind as well, because if you have 500 views on a post, you might say like, "Okay," like, and you might be discouraged, like, "Oh man, no one liked my stuff." But if only 89, like, if only 9% of LinkedIn will comment and like your
Yeah,
post,
right.
very little percent will actually do it. So it's really important to understand that and not be discouraged if you don't get likes or comments and things like that. That's just the reality of LinkedIn itself. So it's important to realize that and not be discouraged if you are posting on LinkedIn, if you don't get those likes or comments. So it's important to
But
realize
we
that.
are used to, Instagram hearts. We are used to those likes in Facebook, and we expect to have the same on LinkedIn. And I guess it would be interesting to see which like nationalities are more engaging, which are less. So you understand where's your audience, where you want to get the engagement. You just, hey, like Latvians, please, this is for you. But no, Latvians don't engage much, actually.
Yeah.
So I think the average comes out of some other nationalities who help this average number still be normal.
Yeah, yeah, and I like yeah, you're so right, and when it comes to, like, trying to find someone trying to get them to engage or like or comment, if you
Mm.
leave a valuable statement and you can also put at the bottom, "I would love to hear your thoughts," and that way you can get people that have an opinion on that topic as well, because if your content really resonates with them, they're going to be inclined to want to comment. Like, let's say if you're talking about stress and how stressful your
Not
life
not
is right now.
always, not always. They can just watch,
Yes,
and resonate.
sometimes.
It resonates, but they watch.
Yes, 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 that's true. But they're gonna if you the more it resonates, the more they will be
Yeah,
inclined to
there's more
comment.
chance. Yeah, there's more
So
chance. So,
it's important to put at the bottom of your post as well by saying like, "I would love to hear your thoughts and like love to hear your take on stress," or whatever it may
mm,
be, and that would really add that could potentially add a lot of comments or engagement for you by putting that at the bottom of your post for sure. That makes sense.
yeah, makes sense a lot. How are we doing?
Yeah,
We have
we
some comments.
let me check.
I don't know who is the person, but it's like the screen, like
Yeah, it's a
hidden
screenshot
nickname.
thing.
It's like the nickname of person I don't recognize, but it's cool. Right?
Came from YouTube. This is a great point. But let me go through. Uh,
Actually,
and
yeah, it was a surprise for me that you said you don't have a content plan, but I believe you have those pillars. So anyway, now I will check your, postings, and this one goes to that pillar, this one goes to that pillar, and don't say me that you don't have strategy.
yeah, like I do it based off things I think that may be interesting. Like I definitely wanted to have more LinkedIn conversations. So yes, this would be my LinkedIn pillar for this, but I might change I might like I'm trying to think like how I might change something. Like I might start talking about social media and I might approach it a different way. And then I might start talking about getting people to post. Then I might start talking about like personality, like why you need to post, or like maybe I could go in a deeper conversation of like maybe you are trying to be a perfectionist and this is how to stop being a
No,
perfectionist
that's good.
kind of
That's
thing.
good. That will
Yeah.
engage. That subject will engage.
Yes.
Shoot. Here's the post. We
And
didn't we didn't we didn't touch actually the metrics aspect of the content strategy. That
yeah,
this is also one issue where you can rely on some some content where you really check what's going on and what's non-efficient, and don't reproduce it. And then there's super efficient content and you can reuse it. So we didn't touch it, but that's okay. It's for some
Yeah,
other talk.
like let's dive in that real fast because you had
Uh-huh.
an amazing article on really producing that content or like amazing article about LinkedIn metrics and which ones matter, and you really dove in which ones matter, which ones don't. I think that would be really valuable. Let's yeah, you should touch up on that a little bit.
I'm I'm like this agile fan. I really like agile mindset, but it's really for myself. I take it very professionally and on private level. I really don't like to do things which are not efficient, and it can be reflected to the content as well. Why you should like keep posting content which is not really efficient in the means like it doesn't really engage like the in comparison to some other kinds of contents like the format or the subjects or the posting times, whatever. There are many like ways how you can like measure it and look it through. But it's like about not doing the wrong things. Just skip the wrong things and experiment on those ones which are working better. It's like the thing you can get from the metrics from the LinkedIn. This is how I use it. Like, you know, I don't know. I don't know what's going to be next move, or this content will work out or no. But I just know that I shouldn't do the bad ones. this is this is always good starting point. You know, this is good starting point.
Yeah,
Also with
and
metrics.
I go through it anyway and post it anyway because like I don't like I said I don't focus on likes or comments. So a post could absolutely suck and I might keep posting that content because I might gain a new relationship out of it. I might say, "Oh, I still gained a relationship out of it." Okay, I'll keep posting this crap
Yeah.
content that people still don't engage with, but
I,
I
I
still
mean, I
gained
mean,
this.
evergreen content. You know, this is the most precious one, which still brings you the leads, the views. This is one which is like still living in the channel. This is one you
True.
can reuse.
And
Mm.
that's another great point. LinkedIn is such a great opportunity right now. With only 1% of all LinkedIn posting right now, like the organic reach and the awareness of your LinkedIn post is extraordinary. So if you post right now, lots of people are going to end up seeing it. Like thousands, like or hundreds and hundreds of people of like you could just literally just start posting right now and hundreds
Mm.
of people will end up seeing your content. You can't get that very many other places. You can only get that on LinkedIn or TikTok right now. And
I
it's
know my children are like crying. You know, I don't have many likes today. You know, so
yeah,
it's hard on TikTok too. You have to know the
e-
tricks.
exactly. You have to know the tricks there too. But like it's such a great opportunity right now that might not be here in the next year or 2 years. So it's really important to really think out your LinkedIn strategy and really trying to understand what content works the best because once you start posting content, everything suddenly becomes an insight for the next piece of content that you do create. Like I said before, I have dreams where I wake up and say that would make a great LinkedIn post, and I just put it in my notes, and then that's it. And then my notes list is so long now, but it's almost maxed out. But it really everything will become a new LinkedIn post for you. You're gonna like look around and say like, "Wow, I just learned that. I'm gonna put that in a LinkedIn post." Like that's what.
Victor,
Mhm.
Victor, you need to have like LinkedIn page. Then you can post more posts because on the private profile you cannot post as much as you wish because I'll go like, you know, hide the previous post. But then you must open the page and put all this list there. Like 10 posts per day, you know?
There's some weird stuff in there. Like I look at that list, I'm like, what am I talking about here? Like one of them had horses in it. I was like, what am I'm not posting that on LinkedIn. I'm not
How
testing
do you
that.
find anything in this list to like, you know, this was the great idea. I want to use it. How can you find it if it's so many?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's important to keep the good ones like close to
yep.
you, not put them in the common list, like, you know. Put
Yeah, for sure. And like really try to prioritize that. Like some like I go like this will work really well. And they just don't. So I mean like it just depends on yeah, it's just trying to add as much value and really just trying to really push that envelope of really establishing those relationships. And
Yeah,
then,
the
well,
end goal matters, right? Not the post engagement, but the end goal to
yeah,
build this relationship.
exactly. Like short term, that post is only going to be up on LinkedIn. It's actually up for like a week, like almost a month of like
Yeah.
engagement there. So it's really good. But after that month, that LinkedIn post is going to go away, and not many people are going to really look at it anymore.
Don't say that. If you look at the metrics, there are posts who are still like evergreen for 2-3 months, and you're like,
Uh,
what?
okay, well, okay, yeah, LinkedIn's another story, okay? But let's just say eventually that post will go away. But
Okay.
long term, the relationship out of
Yeah.
that post can be forever.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
like these posts are temporary, but relationships are forever, and it really makes it where like you can always talk to that person, always ask for other insights with
Mm.
that person, and where you can learn from each other, and where you can really develop something greater than that. And for me, I love talking to people. That's like one of my favorite things to do. And like I really enjoy it. And that makes it where I can talk to a lot of people for a lot of time. So that's the most important thing to me. And that's why I don't look for those likes or comments or anything else. It's just really, what can I do right now to really spread and really get those relationships with other people? That's the content I try to post.
You're doing good. But do you like use TikTok too?
I don't use I want to get into
Because you
TikTok.
have this talking, love for
Yeah,
talking.
like I need to really develop a strategy there. I'm going like full out on LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going all out on LinkedIn and Facebook groups right now because
Yeah.
the organic reach is so good right now there. I do need to post on TikTok. Um, I have to develop another strategy based on that, but I will get there. But right now I'm just going 110% on TikTok and Facebook right now. And eventually, like I'm kind of waiting for the platform to mature. I know that's not smart because the organic reach will go down, but since there's a majority are under the age of 28, I think it is. I think something like that. My target audience won't be really resonating as much with what I talk about right now, but
Mhm.
I need to get into it for sure. You're right.
So
It's something
you,
else.
so meanwhile you can join the clubhouse, right? The hype FOMO.
I'm trying.
Fulfill fulfill the FOMO.
I'm trying so hard. I have an Android, and
Me too, but I'm happy I still have my own time, Otherwise,
yeah. I literally, one of my colleagues said, "Yeah, I'll give you the phone just so that you can use it for Clubhouse. And once Clubhouse comes out on Android, then just give it back." I'm like, "Thank you." So I've been asking like, "Please send me the iPhone. Please send me the iPhone." Like I'm just waiting for him to send it to me. It's just taking. He's busy, so he's just taking a while. So I'm definitely trying to get on Clubhouse for sure. I got like I think I have an invite, so I'm trying to get on that for sure.
yeah. So
Um,
you will post on that too. We will read
yeah.
on LinkedIn.
I try to post as much content as humanly possible. Because that's like because I post content because I feel like I don't work enough during the day. Like I try to like always keep working, stay busy, and I always need to really push and really try to produce as much content as I humanly can. Like right now, I think I produce 7 pieces of content on all the platforms a day, and I think that that's horrible. Like I think I should be like really pushing that envelope and really like because I call myself a content creator and a content strategist. Like that's when I laugh when people like when social media companies don't produce any content ever. Like when you look at their Instagram or like Facebook, they have like 3 followers and they're all employees. Like that's hilarious to me because like it's just you need to be posting to really say that you are a strategist behind it. So that's why I always try
But,
to
but
produce.
sometimes, sometimes less is more as well.
That's true. Yes, it is, but you always have to be testing as well. Like, it's
True.
really important to test because you never know what content is gonna resonate the best, and luckily with LinkedIn, text content does phenomenal. Like, I noticed
Mhm.
myself like, I don't read, like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't read practically anything, but when I noticed myself on LinkedIn, I read a lot more. Like, I found myself like, wow, I probably read probably like 3 paragraphs worth of words in all these posts, and any other platform, I would never do that. Like, if you got me
Yeah.
on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you would never see me reading more than 4 words. But on LinkedIn, I'm reading like paragraphs
But
like you're
I
like
think it's the Victor's list FOMO effect. We think we're missing something if we are not reading, if we're not posting, if we're not engaging. This is like the problem of this like no century or something. We always like we're not good enough. We always have to like proceed, get better, get smarter, get everything. And this
yeah.
FOMO is like killing us.
Yeah, it's like it's I feel like as a progress thing. Like I feel like I can always push that and make it where it's more efficient and make it
Mhm.
where I could be potentially posting more. And I feel like there's always more that I can do and like either building out my team or something else like that, but where I can constantly keep creating more content to post. And because I feel like there's always another audience to reach and another way to add value to someone else. So,
You are never enough, right?
well, okay, like here's the thing, like it's two contradictory things.
Yeah.
Like I work extremely hard and but yet I'm satisfied with where I am right now in my life. Like if I stopped working right now, like I'd be complete like I have to work throughout my life because I love work, but if I could not progress anymore, I'd be perfectly
Yeah.
happy. Like I would. Like I'm perfectly satisfied with where I am in my life, but yet I am motivated to still push myself to the next level. And I know that's like two contradictory things. Like I don't know why I'm pushing myself because I maybe just because I love the progress, I love
Yeah.
doing it, but I'm completely satisfied with who I am and where I am in my life. So it's it's kind of contradictory in those things, but it's at the same time, it makes it where like I can relax at the same time because I can say no matter if I stop progressing in my life for the rest of my life, I can never progress, I will still be happy. And that's a big thing for me because a lot of people can't say that. A lot of people are really struggling and to gain happiness they get through material objects and things like that and like cars and houses and keeping up with the Joneses
Mhm.
and things like that, but that's not the way to be. You have to be satisfied with where you are in your life and motivated to work and progress on your next thing and have goals. Like a lot of people can be satisfied with their life, but not be motivated, not have any goals to do that next thing that they want to do. So it's best to have both within your life. Like what do you think about that?
Yeah, and you have to have like goals on LinkedIn as well.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
think it's
that's true.
very important to keep this balance. You know what you have to do for your brand. You know what you have to do for your, I don't know, getting closer to your customers. But it's still the balance. You have your life. You cannot sleep on the clubhouse and then work on the daytime. You have to like keep the balance and
Yeah,
not be all the time in this FOMO effect. You have to like understand that the life is whole complete thing together.
yeah,
It's not like the
that's
life is
true.
only there in a channel.
And it's
You
based
have
on the
other things.
it's based on the person too. Like
Yeah.
I work 12 hours a day and I think I have fantastic work-life balance. Like it's weird. So like I'm not joking. Like I think like cuz I still have time to do things with the family. I still have time to do things with my friends. I always adjust. I always have 3 hours out of my day to do anything that anyone asks me that they want to do where
Yeah.
it's not work related. I might go rock climbing with my friends or things like that
How
where
many hours do you have in your day?
I
Maybe
have
you have
15
more.
hours of my day And I like it is like I am so efficient throughout my day. Like I have it marked on a calendar of where I'm going with my friends at what time, so that way I can be as efficient as humanly possible. Like after I'm done with the meeting, I might instantly like leave and go like drive to go wherever I'm going next. Like and then like I might be in the
Yeah,
car, have a meeting in the car. Like I'm efficient with my
yeah,
time. So it
that's
makes it
cool.
where like and a lot of people can't work 12 hours a day, and that's completely fine. And my
Mm.
my threshold of work life balance is that's my perfect threshold there. I need time, I need work life balance, yes. And my life is like 3 hours, and where I can interact and really have that relationship with my family and my friends and things like that, because that's important to me. So it's all about really gaining those relationships and nurturing them throughout your even friends, family, and things like that. And that's important. So it's
And
all
then
about
it's
how
okay.
you
Then
use
it's
your
okay
time.
that you have those relationships also during the work time, right? So you can
Yeah,
add more to your
that's
like
true.
private life. Yeah,
Yeah. And it's all about utilizing your time is what it
yeah,
comes down to. Like I might spend a little bit on LinkedIn to really engage and maybe interact with someone, but I'm not spending time on TikTok. I'm not spending time, like I'm not wasting my time basically. I'm spending it as efficiently as I can, so that way I can work 12 hours a day
yeah.
and be okay. And like I
And
said before,
be online all the time.
yeah, exactly. So
Mm.
that way I can post all my content, I can work throughout my day, and I can answer people all at the same time, and and just do it in a really efficient manner to get kind of everything done. And it makes it where it's like I love it. Like it's literally the perfect work-life balance for me. And a lot of people have different thresholds on what they do. I definitely had to work up to that point. You can't just like dive in and say I'm going to work this much today. You're going to burn yourself out. I started out doing 6, 7, 8 hours, 9, 10, and eventually worked myself up to 12 hours a day. And then then you have to really limit yourself and like really say like, okay, it's okay to stop right here, it's okay to stop right here. And you have to clear your mind. Like that's a whole other thing, because when I sit down on my desk, it's just like I say like there's no way I'm done with all my work, I got to be working on something else. But as soon as I get up from my desk, I do not think about it again. Like I might answer,
Yeah,
like if someone messages me that they need help, yeah, I'm going to respond. But after that, like that mode of where I have something that I need to do is gone. I'm going to spend time with my friends. I'm going to spend time with my family, and I'm not going to worry about that next thing. I'm going to just spend and just kind of not worry about it. I'm just going to be happy in the moment.
you're
And
present, right? And
yeah, yeah, I'm going to
yeah,
live in the present and not to worry. Like the thing is, if you worry too much about the future, you will never be happy in the present. That's what I realized. And it's so important to not dwell on that future and be stressed. Like I work 12 hours a day, but I swear I am never stressed, like ever.
and the
And
same on LinkedIn. You cannot like stress about how it's gonna look tomorrow. You just have to enjoy your post today. You know.
you just got to be doing. Like it
Mm.
comes down to not thinking too much about it. When you constantly overthink things, humans, like we're really good at overthinking things, like coming
Yeah,
up with super weird situations. 99% of the stress we have comes from situations that don't even exist. They're imaginary situations. Like, oh, what if I mess up? What
yeah,
if I do this? Like they're imaginary. They do
mm.
not exist, only in your own head. And we cause our own stress, and there's no point to do that. There is no point to cause your own stress, because
Yeah,
it it will not make it where you enjoy that work anymore. You have to be okay with where you are in life, and just to be satisfied and completely clear your mind away from work. And like this is coming from someone that works 12 hours a day. Like as soon as I get up from my desk, it's completely gone. And like I just enjoy with where I am in that moment, and I'm relaxed even when I work. Like I'm completely chill, and when it comes to just not overthinking things, thinking simple is the best thing you can do when producing content,
yeah,
because
but your content is really like full of quality information. It's not like it's overthought, and it's not like it's like, easy going. You have put an energy there. There's a
That's
content.
that's
Yeah.
true, and it comes down to how, like, I think, like, that other person would, like, if someone asks me a question, I'm gonna say, like, "Oh, I'm gonna produce more content like that," or, I developed this insight, I'm gonna talk about that." But
Yeah.
it's literally, I'm just speaking from what comes from my brain. Like, it really is simple, like, simple things from what I say. It's just I don't overthink every single thought. I'm not trying to be perfectionist, and it just comes down to, like, I just want to get my thoughts out. Like, that's what it comes
Mm.
down to. I'm just literally reading from the person I am from my brain and just speaking from what that is. So, and that's what it comes down to. And it's really fascinating. Just not overthinking thing is the best way you can really take out stress in your life. And that's how I managed my work life balance, because a lot of people don't like their work life balance because of stress. They think, oh, you're working 12 hours a day, you must be unhappy. But no, like, I love it. I'm completely relaxed. I have 5 hours of meetings a day, and I work the other seven, work the other seven, and that's perfect for me. I'm completely relaxed, and because I'm so passionate about the subject, I'm completely relaxed. I'm not going to stress about it. And if a client says you got to do this right now, I'm going to be working casually, because I can only work as fast as I can work. And
Yeah.
you have to be okay with, like, rushing and, like, saying, like, oh, I gotta finish this, will not solve anything. It will only make you worse. Oh, like 1,000 times worse, like a lot worse. So if you stress about something, saying, oh, I gotta finish this right now, you will not get anything accomplished.
But do
Stress
you
will
rush with the
only—
content as well sometimes? Like,
say that again?
do you rush with the content creation sometimes?
No,
Never?
never,
Uh-huh.
never. I've never said I gotta get this out right now.
Uh-huh.
I'm always okay with, because it hurts your productivity. It, like, you will always be less productive if you are stressed. Always.
Mm.
100% of the time. You will always mess up. Like, if you're afraid of failing and you're stressing about failing, you will mess up if you stress about failing. Like, you have to relax, and you just have to say, okay, I'm okay with this failing. I'm okay if this sucks. I'm okay with all of this. And if it does, it will not end me. Like, I will be okay. Regardless of what happens in my life, I will be satisfied. And you have to be okay with that. And so that way you don't stress about it. And that way you have that perfect life balance for you. Sometimes, like,
Yeah.
4 hours is too much for 4 hour work life balance is too much for some people, and that's okay. It's designed to the person. I'm extremely driven, so I have to work 12 hours a day for me to really, like, feel like I did something today. So, like,
So
that's
it's
important.
good for us. It's good for us on LinkedIn to have your energy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that's why I really try to do as much as I can. So, but that's the perfect scenario for me. And sometimes,
Mm.
like, that 3 hours for people that, like, for only friends and family, that's not enough for people. And they need
Yeah.
6 or 7, and that's completely okay. Some people just want to watch TV and relax. That's okay. I can't do it. Like, if you would try to get me into watch like a Netflix series or something, I would rather jump out a window. Like, that's just who I am. I have to feel productive, and I just can't do that. So
This is how I like plan my skiing sessions in between the zooms. It's like you. I finish my zoom, I put my ski boots, and then I go cross country skiing just next to my house, and then I come back, and the next zoom is already starting.
yeah, like, I play volleyball, and so sometimes I have the volleyball stuff under what I wear, and then once I leave, I just take it off, and I'm all the way there. So it's funny, and it just comes down to, like, just being okay with whatever happens, and also, like, just knowing what you value. Like, if you value family more, you need to be spending time with your family. Like, and if you value your friends more, go do stuff with them and things like that.
Yeah.
It's so important, and, like, it's just a lot of things are happening in your life and you're always changing, and you have to be okay with, like, you just do whatever you want to do within your life. You can design your work life balance. If your job says you have to work 8 hours a day and you hate your life, then you should quit your job and find something that you do like by posting on LinkedIn, getting that engagement, and then you can find opportunities that you actually enjoy to gain that work-life balance. So if you are complaining about work-life balance, that is your solution to really gain a lot of and help other people. By helping other people, people will help you. We are human beings. That is how we work. We if I gave you value, and eventually some value will have, like, down the line, it could be 50 years from now, but eventually they're going to know you and they're going to try to help you in some way if they are a decent human being. And it makes it where a lot of good people are going to be in your life and that will try to help you. So it's really important to, if you are stuck in a rut and you are in a job that you don't like with a bad work-life balance, then posting on LinkedIn will provide you more opportunities to find that nice job with that work-life balance you want. And like, if you're trying to look for a work-life balance where you can go vacation 90% of the year and not work the other 10, that you're doing something wrong. Like, you have to also take in mind, you might not like it, since, like, if you feel like your work-life balance is bad, you might not like what you are doing, and you might have to change career paths. You might have to be okay with, if, let's say, if you are a web developer but you always wanted to be a graphic designer and you have to change
Right.
careers, but you should always do what you want to do now, because in the future you're going to regret it for the rest of your life, and that is not worth it. It is not worth it. So it's so important to do what you do right now.
But it also comes to your resources, like how to the question how often to make posts on LinkedIn. So it's like this work life balance. It gives you an answer how much resources you want to prioritize to do your content. So it's the answer is in your priorities
Yeah.
always. No one else will tell you how often, how frequent, how many channels to cover. So it's always up to you how you decide.
Yeah,
Mhm.
100%. And, like, yeah, if you say you have bad work-life balance, and then that's where the LinkedIn posts come in handy and where you can really be posting a lot of valuable content. And, like, let's say if you don't have enough time, like, I guarantee 90% of LinkedIn say they don't have a lot of time. Like, I can guarantee that. And there you go. You already found a niche where you can post about how you don't have time and how to properly manage it. Like, that's super valuable right there. You already have a valuable piece of content where you can post it and eventually give the other person value, which will eventually be the scenario or the opportunity that where you can constantly develop and gain those relationships. And if you are an introvert, text is still a thing. Images are still a thing. So you don't have
I
to
am introvert. I am introvert. Don't
have
believe it?
so, like, that's the thing. So, like, text content, text image content does fantastic on
Yeah.
LinkedIn. Like, it's not like Instagram or Facebook where text content doesn't do very well. LinkedIn text content does fantastic. So you can literally have posts and provide value without even showing your face or without even making a video about it. So, but I'm super animated, so I have to make videos because I suck at writing. If you look at my text content, I misspell a lot of my things because I'm not a writer.
I will check tomorrow.
What?
I will check tomorrow.
Okay, yeah,
I will
check
check your
tomorrow. There's probably
text
misspellings in every
quality.
single one.
Yeah.
Like, there's something wrong. I know that. So, but I'm
I
okay with
also
post.
have English. I also have Latvian English.
But I'm
There are
okay with
many mistakes.
I'm
Yeah.
okay with messing up that content, and sometimes I do it on purpose, so that way I sometimes I feel like, okay, I am thinking way too much about this content. I'm gonna post it right now and not do any more before I keep
Yeah,
thinking
like
about it
you
'cause
said.
I need to be more simple. Like, that's another thing
Mm.
when it comes to stress. I don't stress about my content because if I feel like I do and I'm overthinking something, I was like, then I say immediately, stop what I'm doing. I'm gonna post it exactly how it is. Doesn't even make sense what I'm posting, but I need to be okay with posting this bad content And so that way I realize like, okay, this will not impact me. This will not hurt me if I do post bad content. And I have to be okay with that. I have to. And with every post, you have to be okay with posting bad content in order to really accept that. And it's really helped me develop as a person of posting bad content too. Like it makes it where you care less about what others think. It really helped me like not care about what anyone thought after posting that bad content. Like I was thinking like, hey, if I can post bad content on LinkedIn and not care, I can just make mistakes in real life and not care. And it's a learning experience to really understand how making these mistakes just do not matter and they
Yeah,
will not
but
harm
there's
anyone.
there is this point where you shouldn't like don't care about the people who read your posts. Actually,
Yeah.
you should care, but just don't stress so much, like you said.
Exactly. Like that's it for me. Like you should care and you should care about every single person that like in your relationship with your connections and the people that read your content. But take it with a grain of sand. Like you don't want or grain of salt. And like you don't want to take it so literally and take it personally and what I default to is I care enough to where the like to as soon as I start like overthinking it or like even remotely try like thinking I'm going to be stressed about it, I instantly say it doesn't matter. Like we
Mhm.
like if you think about it, we are like what I go to is crazy. Like I think we are humans right now, and we are in a universe in a tiny little world with billions of other little worlds that in with
True.
trillions of other galaxies with little bitty worlds like this, and we're only going to live 100 years out of the billions of years that are going to happen in this
Mhm.
universe. This moment will not matter. If I mess up, it is
Mhm.
100% okay. I will be gone off
True.
the face of the earth and it will not matter. And that's what I default to. And I really say like I look at the big picture. And if you're stressing over one moment, it's because you're only looking at that one moment. You're saying like,
Mhm.
"Oh, this big project is everything is going to matter. Everything is going to matter." But I look at it from that future perspective and thinking like in 10 years, I'm going to look back at this moment and laugh. Like this is going to be hilarious to me in the future. And that's what I look at it. That's how I look. You have to look at the big picture when you're stressing about these small situations. Just look at it either from the holistic point of view or the like the future for the future point of view. Because that way you can look at it in the future and say, like, okay, that really didn't matter as much. It's kind of like after your big project, you're like, wow, okay, that wasn't too bad. And like that's how you look at it right after you're finished. But you don't need to be like that in the moment because it'll only impact your productivity and make it where you have a bad experience in the present. No one
But
wants stress. Nobody
but we
wants.
can, we can like give a last words. I don't know, to our audience. It's like, uh, yeah, like you said, you think of the future, but you act today.
Yeah.
Just think of the long term and be present today in the channel. Just go out there and do your things. I will watch your posts now, like more detailed, and try to understand. Or this was like on purpose, or this was like spontaneous, or yeah, I like it.
Yeah. If you ever see half finished posts with lots of misspelling, it's because I was overthinking it and I just posted it. So now you know.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening. I'm gonna end it right there. We're 30 minutes over time, but it's okay. So thank you for listening, guys. Thank you.
We're just in this moment.